Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome to another video. I hope you enjoyed the previous one yesterday. In this video, again, like the one yesterday, I will be giving practical chess advice aimed towards competitive chess players to help them improve. This advice will come directly from my own personal games and my own personal experiences as a chess player. And the theme of this video will be about the importance of following your personal opening preparation and when it can cost you. And I will be giving a clear example of a game where it cost me that I prepared something and I played something else in the opening. This game is from 2016 in the World Junior Chess Championship, which was for all players under 20 years old. And I played, it was held in a city called Bhubaneswar in a province called Odisha. It was held in India. And it was definitely the greatest experience in my life, including non-chess, because I got to play in such a high level for the first time and travel by myself. I changed 3 planes. Yeah, it was definitely an experience that I wish I could have again. Anyway, I'm going to go into the game. I had the black pieces. I will be sharing my screen to show you what I did wrong in this game so that hopefully we don't do the same mistake again. So I'm going to share my screen and yeah, here we are. So you can see the rating difference. I had 1561 at the time. I scored only 1.5 out of 12 and I finished last, shared last in this tournament. My opponent had 2270. And this one was one of the 3 games I lost from the 10 games I lost, where I did not put up a fight, at least according to my standards. Overall, I had 1 win, 1 draw, and 10 losses, and 1 point bye, because there was an even number of players. So my opponent played d4, which I expected. And back then, I was very much into the Sicilian defense and the Najdorf variation, even though I think this was a wrong choice by me looking at it later on, because I should have learned something simpler, which requires less theoretical knowledge so that I can focus on other areas of the game too, which I lacked on, such as tactics and endgame, for example. So yeah. Anyway, I played the Najdorf. I expected him to go bishop b2, which was what he always did. And here, in my preparation, I had prepared the move e5, where he would play the move knight b3. And we would get into this variation. I would play probably bishop b7, castles, bishop e6, he would go king h1, and after castles, probably he would go f4. And we would have this position. So instead, in the game, I got inspired by the game of Kasparov against Karpov in the World Championship match in 1985, the last game, game 24, where Kasparov played e6 and he won him, but I was completely unprepared. And here you can see how quickly and easily things can go wrong. So I played b5, which was a massive error, and I should have played, for example, queen c7 or knight c6, for instance. Well, b5 was an error because of this move bishop f3. Now, for example, I cannot play bishop b7 because of the move e5, which loses me material, because if he takes here, I take with the queen, and now I have to lose at least a pawn. And yeah, if he takes, yeah, this move just loses, and there is not much that I can do. So I had to play e5, even though, even if I like it or not, I have to. It was like the only move. So knight f5. Now I went b4. Again, it was not so accurate, and now he's got complete control of the light squares. I'm clearly a pawn down. I'm a clear pawn down. He has the bishop pair too. Now I should have something like rook d7, but instead in the game I went rook c7, and now he went bishop f4, but I could not have taken here because my rook would get trapped, unfortunately. And I can show this to you. If I played here, then the winning move is bishop e4. No, okay, there are a few winning moves. Yeah, so yeah, it's just a very unpleasant position, like rook a1, and the queen has to stay in touch with the bishop, and it's just a very, very unpleasant position. So I did not take, which was correct from my side, but still the position was that bad that with a bishop pair and a pawn down against a stronger player, not many things I could do. I offered an exchange of queens, hoping to breathe, but my opponent correctly declined it, because if he had done so, maybe I could have had some slight chances to achieve something. Well, I kept fighting because that's how I am. I'm a fighter, but here I had to give up the exchange, and a few moves later, I ended up resigning. I mean, I can show you until the end how this game went, and now my king is like naked, very exposed, and rook g3, bishop d6, and now rook d4. So he's threatening to go rook g4 checkmate, not many things I can do. I can prolong it a bit more, but I thought it was pointless. So instead, I just resigned. And how differently things would have been if I had just followed my preparation. It has nothing to do with if e5 or e6 is a better move. Some players prefer the one, others prefer the other. But if I had just followed my preparation in the room the day before and the day of the game, had played e5, I would get into a position where I was much more familiar with. And here we would start from an equal footing, approximately. Maybe a slight advantage for white, but at least I would be prepared. And that's extremely important because the evaluation of the engine doesn't matter that much. What matters is if you're playing an opening that you have studied, that you have prepared for this specific opponent, that you've analyzed with the engine, that you've watched the games of the strong players in this opening. For example, I would 100% recommend, if you want to learn e6, the e6 variation, to look at the game Karpov with Kasparov in 1985. That should be your starting point. And generally, Kasparov was extremely good in the Scheveningen pawn structure. What he avoids by this move order and not e6 here, for example, if he goes e6, then there is g4, the Keres attack, which I'll leave it up to you to decide if you want to allow or not, but I would recommend maybe you can go a6 to avoid it. Of course, a6 has way more theory, but here you've avoided the Keres attack. There are many other options here, but g4 is not an option. Many moves are possible in this position, but not g4 because it loses a pawn. Anyway, this is all I had to say about this game. So my general advice is to follow your preparation. If you prepare one line, play it in the game, because it's also disrespectful towards your efforts and towards the time you invested into it, and it also reduces your winning chances. And at the end of the day, it's all about winning and losing. Anyway, that's all from me. I hope you enjoyed this video. Now, if you are a competitive chess player and you want to improve and you want to fund your chess progress, then definitely there are going to be some expenses. For example, traveling to tournaments, there is transport. If it's another city, there is accommodation. If it's not a one-day event, and there also are entry fees, unless if you're a titled player. Also, you might consider into hiring a coach that can speed your progress and can make you see results faster. And that's what I'm doing myself. I also hire a coach and I also coach others. Or you might want to invest into chess books and courses which you might be interested in. For example, if you play the Najdorf, you might want to buy Anish Esgiri course on the Najdorf, for example. So you're definitely going to have expenses, and also it's going to be very difficult for you to achieve your goals as a chess player by just being in a 9-to-5 job and having only 28 days off per year. Therefore, you might be interested to start a side hustle. If that applies to you, you can go to www.nikolasketos.co.uk, insert your name and email, and watch my free introductory training where you will learn the 3 secrets my mentors use to generate a consistent income online and how you can do it too, even if you have no previous experience, qualifications, or no product to sell. If you're a subscriber, I will catch you at the next video. Thank you for watching, and bye for now.